Hey Ryan, my name is Ed Johnson, and you've just been elected as a new freshman counselor for the Central Saanich Municipal people, and so we're here to see what your plans are for the future. I did want to bring up that I think it's kind of ironic that it was due to your efforts that one of the counselors had to step down, and I find it very ironic that in a sense you took his seat. And I thought that's pretty good.
Well, it shows accountability, right? If someone steps up and is willing to demonstrate that someone else needs to be held accountable, people will often react positively to that, and I think that played a role in this, obviously.
Mm-hmm. What are your plans for the council? What's the one thing that you want to see accomplished when you first get there and you can raise motions and make a difference? What is on your plate?
Well, there's a number of things to do with sustainability, obviously, but one of the first motions will have something to do with the referendum on the municipal hall, which is going to proceed forward, and I'd like to see the question being asked more in a comprehensive fashion, and actually start put motions forward in the short term to save money. There was an opportunity last night to put a motion forward, and if I'd been at the table, I would have done so, to scrap $1,500 in spending. And that's a simple motion that could have been put forward, and I would have done so.
Mm-hmm. What was the motion for? To pay for what?
It was on the actually existing municipal hall. There was $18,000 in study spending earmarked, including a inventory of space for potential temporary use by municipal staff. And the line item was for $1,500 to be spent on cataloging space, which is easily found on the internet.
$1,500 or $15,000?
$1,500 for that portion of the $18,600 that they had earmarked.
How much money are they spending on this referendum to get all the information together to tell the people what they need to know?
That's not yet determined. There's been a lot of sort of haphazard numbers thrown about. The $18,600 is obviously one of them. There was $50,000 on the existing municipal hall being extended. There's sort of a patchwork of numbers, so it's hard to really determine how much is being spent at the moment. That will be a question that I'll ask when I get in there, though.
Mm-hmm. One of the other issues coming up is the expansion of the urban containment boundary. How do you see that playing out?
Well, it's interesting because we need to ask the question, first of all, what is motivating the expansion down there with the RSS review process through the CRD? That question to date I don't think has been answered. And I think in fairness to people, we need to be open as councillors about what is the driving force about the expansion of the urban containment boundary south from Brentwood. And in the absence of that, I don't think we can credibly go forward with even the review. Mm-hmm. So that will be a big question for me, Ed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what, in general, then, what do you think you're bringing to the table? What do you hope to see? What do you hope to see your image become there at the council? Are you going to be more green, so to speak, or are you going to be conciliatory, or are you going to press for changes?
I'm going to press for changes, and I'm going to be green. Obviously, the idea of being green is also being open to listening to people and hearing their arguments and giving them a reason in an intelligent fashion why something may not make sense, or why something does make sense, or another course of action that makes sense at the table. I'm going to try and work with everyone at the table in an open-minded fashion. We'll see if that's something that I can achieve. It's early days. We haven't even been sworn in yet. So, but when you call something a sustainability strategy, it's got to really be sustainable. And the question has not been answered: is the actions that are being taken, or are the actions that are being taken, are they sustainable? Mm-hmm. And I have serious questions about that.
Mm-hmm. When is the swearing in?
May the 6th, the start of the May the 6th council meeting. There will be I believe, a short sort of oath of office swearing in performed by His Worship the Mayor. And in advance of that, we will be having meetings at the Municipal Hall to sort of get oriented.
Is there an orientation program that you undertake? You go somewhere, or how does that all that work?
Normally, in a general election afterwards, there's candidate school for actually taking your council seat. In this case, it's going to come more from the mayor because we're in an unusual situation having this by-election. This is not normal by by any stretch. It does happen from time to time, but there's nothing really set up. So the real challenge will be to get in and talk to the experienced councillors, talk to the mayor, ask a lot of questions. And that's something that I will be doing perpetually, is asking a lot of questions. Trying to get...
This time at the table instead of in the gallery.
That's correct. And there's been times when I've wanted to ask questions and haven't had that opportunity. So by the same token, the questions that I would have asked from the gallery on issues, I will also be asking about procedure if I have any doubts about how procedure is going.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ed.
Okay. Hi, I'm Ed Johnson. I'm here with Alicia Cormier, the newly elected council member for Central Saanich, and we want to find out just what's been going on behind the scenes in your life.
Hi, Ed. Well, thanks. Okay. A look behind the scenes.
Yeah. So when you get on council, what is your top priority to see to have accomplished?
Well, Ed, I think, moving forward in the next 14 months, what I would be delighted to get accomplished is moving along the priorities of the agricultural area plan. I'd like to work on an economic development strategy that focuses on not only agriculture but other, small business and the Keating industrial area, make some progress there. And the third thing I'd really like to do is get more people engaged and involved in the process and in the decisions of council.
I understand council, or the municipal hall at least, has finally got their video set up. Is that up and running now?
I knew that it was in the budget and I knew that it was moving forward. I don't know that it's operational yet, but that would be another great way to kind of open the doors and involve more people that lead busy lives, and being able to watch it on the internet would be helpful. But I don't know if it's up and running. Oh,
I remember that was promised to us at the last municipal election, and so it's been dragging its heels for quite some time now.
Right.
Yeah. So on the, I guess the next issue coming up before council, or one of the ones that you'll be concerned about, is the urban containment boundary expansion. And so how do you feel about that? Do we need that, or what's the dynamics?
Well, one of the first things that I'd like to do is to, meet with our planner, Bruce Gregg, and ask him the question about, are we busting at the seams? The commercial space that we have, the residential space that we have, hasn't been fully utilized. I think our OCP currently suggests that, we want to, keep an urban containment boundary to provide buffers to our farmland. And, I think the number one question is, have we fully utilized what we have? And if not, then what's the reason to expand the urban containment at this point?
And that, excuse me, that urban containment boundary would include residential and commercial uses?
I believe so. That's been sort of the discussion point that's been put forward, and that has been will be relayed to the Capital Regional District. Yeah. So I think we need to ask what the reasoning is there.
Yeah, because I noticed, probably everybody notices there in Brentwood Bay, the new building that went up right next to the sidewalk, all of the commercial property has not been leased. It's just empty.
Yes,
so
that's right. Yeah. Well, we have been affected by the financial downturn, and I think both building permits and commercial activity has been a bit suppressed. And I personally think that if we can get behind agriculture and work on some of the barriers or some of the difficulties that that sector is facing, it's a way to stimulate our local economy. And I don't understand the need right now to expand the urban containment. Would welcome some engagement on that from the community and from other members of council.
What do you see as that at a municipal level council can do to promote agricultural products?
Well, that's there are a lot of things. I've been studying the agricultural plan, and I think raising more awareness about what is available locally, I think, would be a good idea to sort of not only promote shop local, but shop fresh agriculture. I think, in the budget, council has put a $10,000 expenditure towards processing. I think value-added processing is certainly a way that council and the public, the private sector and citizens can get behind the agriculture sector. I think that's a big part of it. Agritourism, we've got zoning in place. It'd be great to attract some businesses to, create some tourist attractions and I think Brent Warner mentioned at the Farmer to Farmer conference that agritourism and culinary tourism is the #1 tourist trend globally. So I think there's real opportunity from my experience with, kind of working in advertising, including the Tourism Victoria publication. I got the sense that Tourism Victoria is seeing the trend that staycations and local vacations are more and more what people are deciding to do. And so I think there's a real opportunity not only for food security, but to generate some tourism activity and new enterprises.
Mm-hmm. And because you're a new person on council, how do you think you'll be received, and what is going to be your goal on council? How do you see yourself differentiating yourself from everybody else?
Well, I was really encouraged as I was campaigning, talking door to door, where what I was indicating my interests around agriculture and the local economy and more engagement, being sort of my priorities. That really resonated with people that I spoke to. And I think that, with both Ryan and I being elected, it sends a really clear message that new voices, new approaches, more engagement, more emphasis on environmental and agriculture is what the public here wants. And so I think, I look forward to working with Mayor Bryson and the other councillors to move those things forward.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks, Ed.
Okay.